All right, move over, kids. It is the Saturday podcast has officially now moved to Thursday. Had I thought about it, I probably wouldn't have done it this weekend, though. I forgot that Thanos snapped his fingers and made half the cast disappear. So, no spoilers because, well...
just no remembrance for them.
Yes, remembrance for them. But we still got Captain America over here. Captain Pokemon or Captain Commodore. No, wait. In television. At Commodore on my mind. We'll talk about that later.
I'm more of Rocket. I'm more of a Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, for starters, no whatsoever, no spoilers. That will never happen on this channel. And King Nass, how are you? King Nass in the chat right now. He was pretty good about a week or two ago on this Friday Night Smash. But anyways, so normally, how am I sounding to you right now, William? Do I sound okay?
Not too bad. My headphones are a little messed up as it is.
Let me know in the chat if I'm sounding a little. There's something just going on. I don't know if it's my earphones or anything like that. Super Smash Brothers, yes, for sure. But anyways,
might be a little distortion, a little bassy.
Might be a little bassy.
But we'll see if anybody else says anything.
Yeah, let me know in the chat. So yeah, Avengers was this week, and people were so hyped for so long about Avengers. It's almost like it snuck up on us at the same time as just waiting and waiting and waiting. It's almost like we forgot that we had other things going on during that week. So, anyways, David is at Avengers, and Devin is at work, and then William is here. So, William, did you hear today that the fiscal year of Nintendo, it's over? The fiscal year being basically, instead of January to December, the fiscal year is what really counts. I hear D is coming out this month on Switch. D what? Unless I just walked into a trap there, because now whenever it's D, I can kind of figure what's going to come up next. But happy Thursday, Jay. Night Crew in the house. I can only join for 3 minutes. Also, draft day. So, yay. Draft day. I don't know what draft day is. You're from Australia. Unless you're talking about draft beer. I don't really know what you could be.
There could be beer. There could be other ways to take it too. We'll see what he says.
Gotcha. So, anyways, so the fiscal year's over, and
I forget that they have a fiscal year. Oh, NFL draft.
NFL draft. Yes. And King Nass, want a 1v1? I can't, because this is a podcast where we just talk. This is not a Smash Brothers podcast. Friday nights, though, we will be doing Smash Brothers, and Jay is a Ravens guy. And Tony, yep, you got me. D's coming out. He got me. Oh man. Tony actually did me a service today. He sold me a super rare game for retail. So
nice.
Yeah. And those games, when I say super rare, I actually mean the publisher super rare. But those games typically go for, like, depending on when they come out, they could go for $50 to $100 higher. Especially than
limited run stuff too.
Yeah, just like limited run basically. So anyways, the fiscal year, it's over, and what's his name? Fuminaki? I forget the president's name now.
Oh, that's why we usually have David on.
Yeah, I know, it's like Furusaki. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll just call him the president of Nintendo. He's on the phone, and he says this. He's like, first off, the beta for Mario Kart on cell phones, that's finally coming out. And hey, Nick, what's up? They're about to actually go live with that. They got some people testing it out. It's going to start off on Android and then make its way over. But all these YouTubers, all these websites, for months now, since October actually. Switch Mini, Switch Mini, Switch Mini. Oh, we're going to get a Switch Mini. Oh, look at this. This might be the Switch Mini. Hey, it'll be fun if we check out this Switch Mini. And what does the president say today to all the investors? Yeah, there's not going to be a Switch Mini announcement at E3.
Oh, he said that he didn't mention any cell phone games.
He mentioned Mario, but he literally said no Switch hardware at E3. And it's like, where's the accountability? I get a little frustrated, that all these people, they hype it up, they hype it up, they hype it up, and then it's just like, then they get disappointed, just like Persona. So Persona S, there was lots of news that Persona S was going to be announced, and it seemed like a no-brainer. I was in the camp of no-brainer. Persona 5 on the Switch. S stands for Switch.
They released the one coming out on the PS4.
Yeah,
that's going to be a redone edition with additional characters.
Yeah, but we're like the Nintendo people, though. The Nintendo people.
But at least one was coming out. And I know, and you're probably mentioning this next, we are getting a Persona 5 game, just not the one everyone expected.
It's, Persona 5 Scramble. Magma Dog 02, welcome. How are you? Personally speaking, it's hard for me to say, like, I guess I don't have much of an opinion. I'm disappointed, definitely, that we're not getting Persona 5, because I think it was just bad marketing in that they should have just, like, not put the S or something. And yes, I did break my glasses again. They shouldn't have put the S there, I guess, or released it. Or did they release it? I think that was data mined. So then it's kind of the internet's fault. If it was data mined, it was the internet's fault, in my opinion. It
could have been code for that Royal Edition that they're doing.
Yeah, that I think is the PS5 version that you're talking about, a re-release or a whatever
PS4,
release.
Yeah.
PS4. But the one that we're getting on the Switch is more in lines with Hyrule Warriors, Dynasty Warriors, or Fire Emblem Warriors. Just a hack and slash, and it's gonna be, I assume it'll be like just fantastic. Those games are pretty fantastic. You've played one, you've kind of played them all, with the exception of by now allowing them to dip into other franchises, they become like new again, because
and they can always add characters from the other games as well.
Yes, but I think what it is, it's just like, I just get like a little just frustrated that YouTubers will just like hype, and then they don't defend it, I guess. Then they don't, like, then the mob is just angry at Nintendo and nobody says anything then. That's when the YouTubers go silent. It's like, okay, you want to do a video? That's fine. I mean, I talked about the Switch Mini once or twice on my channel, but it's like, I'm also willing to be like, don't get your hopes up. I mean, in fact, the times that I did talk about the Switch Mini, I was like, these are fake rumors, guys. Don't really believe it.
No, there's always going to be fake rumors popping up, and people will believe them, or then something real comes out and everyone says it's fake.
Yeah,
Look at Smash Brothers when they released the full roster for the Wii U version, and everyone's going, "Oh, that's completely fake. That's completely fake." No, those characters aren't in the game. That's just another character. No, palette swapped and they added stuff to that character. No, that's not a real picture. Then the video came out, and like, oh, I guess these characters are coming out.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's almost like the YouTubers, in their mad rush to break news, have almost done the opposite, in that now they, like, nothing can be trusted. It's almost like there was this episode of The Office, right, where
Kevin drops the chili.
Huh?
Where Kevin drops the chili.
Oh my gosh. I about died laughing. Isaac, what is up? And Magma Dog is good. Don't worry, we just appreciate that you're here. And besides, this is the third stage podcast, so this is kind of new for us. We usually have 2 more people on, and then a lot of times we'll actually even rotate a guest host, but right now it's just me and William holding the fort down. And we're just talking about the phone call that I keep wanting to say Iwata, but I found out yesterday that I've been pronouncing his name wrong. It's Iwata, and I've been saying Iwata, and it's Iwata. So now I got I gotta just figure out how to retrain my brain to saying it that way. But yeah, we're just talking about how he said a bunch of things in regards to how Nintendo's doing. In fact, they missed their, and you're going to hear a lot of this again on the news tonight, but they missed their target projection by 0.0025, so probably by 2,000 units, which is nothing, but still whatever. I don't understand why they just don't say we plan on selling 1,000 Switches, and then when they sell 30 million, it just looks like a huge a huge number. They probably can't do that though. William, what do you think of Persona Scramble coming to do you understand why maybe Switch owners might be a little mad or disappointed, at least because we heard Persona S was coming, we got the Joker, it seemed like a no-brainer Persona 5 was coming, but do you understand? Give me a perspective.
I could see a possibility of it being announced at some other point. But we're at least getting a game in the Persona universe. It's not what people wanted, but it's what we're gonna get. It'll be fun. People are just gonna complain about, even if it's a rumor, people are gonna take those rumors as fact, and when something doesn't come out, they're gonna complain, no matter what it is.
Right. Hey, I think my kids, look at this. It's it's FaceTime on Hangout time. You're on the podcast, guys, right now. My family is away in Michigan. We had a family illness, and okay, well, I'm on the podcast right now, guys, so I'm just going to say goodnight and I love you, okay? Okay, I love you. I love you guys. Love you guys too. Look at my phone. This is the quality of my phone. Love you guys. Bye-bye. It's I broke it. I don't even know what I did with it. Just and it's all cracked, and now it's all it's almost like it's always in, not necessarily night vision, but it has some kind of filter on it, and I can't get that filter off. I don't know what the deal is.
Mine's still working great. Still has Uncle Scrooge. And you can see you in the reflection there.
Wow, that is good quality stuff there. I can't even see my reflection in mine. So anyways, you were saying about Persona.
Yeah, we'll get what comes out. It'll either be great or it might be a bomb, but people will still enjoy it. People are still going to complain, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I wonder if I'll get it, only because, like I said, if you've played one kind of hack and slash, you've played them all. I think if I liked Persona more, and the only reason why I don't like Persona is because I've never played Persona, and that's only because I don't have a PlayStation or anything like that. But when it came to Fire Emblem, in that kind of Dynasty Warriors hack and slash, I was like, oh man, I gotta get this. I love Fire Emblem. So I think with this, either you have to really like this type of game, which, if you guys don't know, it's just, I think Bayonetta, maybe. Bayonetta is, I think even way better, though, so it's actually, don't think Bayonetta. I think a little less than Bayonetta. But these are the guys that perfected it. These guys have been doing hack and slash for 30, 40 years. But then when Zelda came out, it was like, and get to play Tingle, you get to play all these things. It was the greatest thing ever. So, but because I don't have an actual personal connection to Persona, it doesn't really, I don't know. It's not. I'm not. It doesn't make me want to buy it. I mean, I'm not mad though, because there are people with that kind of connection. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I'm disappointed that we don't get Persona 5 for the Switch, but I'm definitely not upset to the point where I'm like, this is the Nintendo hates money.
And I think it's funny that that's one of those series that Sony would likely go and edit the game to remove stuff from it. I'm not sure. Like you don't know the series. There's a persona in it by the name of Mara, and it's a big phallic symbol on a chariot.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why the game is rated M.
Yeah, I could see. Definitely, Sony is now the standard bearer for what you can and cannot see, while Nintendo has kind of flipped, or at least stopped caring.
They've certainly seems to be like they're not caring. There is a game coming out, and I sent the link to it.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is that on PlayAsia? Yeah.
Yes. It's god, and I can say what it is without going into a lot of detail. What it looks like is take Virtualon, replace the mechs with panties.
Yeah, it's definitely. There's definitely some adult games coming out on the Nintendo Switch, and we're at the point where these adult games can have collector items with it. And
it's so ridiculous. I gotta have it for my collection.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I considered it, but I was like, oh no. But you're right. It is in that ridiculous realm. It gets to that point. You know, it's kind of why one of the reasons why Bayonetta is such a good game. Actually, Bayonetta it's like, this is just too much, and then it just keeps going, and then it overcomes it and becomes good again. You know what I mean? Or just the cheese factor or something like that. And so there are some definite questionable games. If you're going for a full game collection, you're gonna have some
questionable stuff.
You're gonna have some questionable stuff that you'll have to hide until the kids get older, and it's official stuff. You know, it's not like, because then the NES day there were some adult games. When I say adult games, I don't mean just like, you know, violent. There were some adult games, but they were more like unofficial, but these Switch games, they're official. I mean, is Miyamoto playing them? Probably not, but you know what?
There's a retro game store couple towns over from me, and I haven't been in there for a couple years, but the last time I was in there, they had one of the unlicensed adult games for the NES in there.
That stuff is it's pretty...
I asked them, I go, so, how much is that? And the guy goes, well, first of all, do you know what it is? And I'm like, yes. And I told him, he goes, okay, you know what it is. You get the price. Because he wasn't going to go and tell people. If people didn't know what it was.
How much was it?
I don't remember. It was like a few years ago. But if he, if somebody just randomly asked him because there was no price on it, and he told them the price, they'd be like, oh.
Yeah. Then you have to go into it. Hey, look, it's 0007 Justin. I remember him. He was... A couple of months back, me and my wife, we were doing a stream. I kept calling him 0007. He's like, you can just call me Justin. Loved it. Let's see. Mario Odyssey will get an update without need for the VR package. You know, excellent question there. I cannot pronounce your name. Xanalos. With an X. But to answer your question, yes, Mario Odyssey is getting an update. The update is happening today. I thought it was going to happen already because basically, so there's VR and it's happening April 25th in America. There was a little bit of there was some miscommunication, though, I think, on Nintendo's part. I don't think they communicated this info well enough because I had to kind of piece it together, and I could even be wrong, but if you look at when it's being introduced across the world, like in England, it's like 2 a.m. In Japan, it's on the 26th, like in the morning. And in America, all they said was on the 25th. So what I'm believing is happening is hey Jay, see you later. Work life calls. I understand, my friend. I understand. So I believe that the update in America is coming at around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 to 10 a.m.
40 minutes from now.
Yeah, about 40 minutes from now. And what will happen is these games are designed was 24th or 25th, latest 26th, and hope finally, Dave. Yeah, pretty much that's it's kind of what you're saying. It's the 25th, 26th, and it's going to be a late night, early morning release depending on where you're from. And this is all information that I've kind of pieced together because they actually never gave a time. I've been like 3 times today. I went on Zelda to see. I even pushed. I'm an idiot. I was like, maybe somehow it'll figure out that it. Like, if I put it in the visor, the Switch will just figure it out. It's like, I thought the cardboard was going to activate it or something. But I was like, I was getting desperate. I was like, I wanted to see it.
The way it's designed, couldn't you also put your phone in there and use it as like a Google Cardboard?
Yes and no. If it fits, if it fits. So yours...
Yeah, mine's a fairly good size one.
So it might, or you could always just like kind of put some stuff on to make it fit. I can go grab it in a second, and so you guys can check it out. How about that? I'll go grab it in a second. But to answer all day waiting for an update, yeah, me too, man. I feel your pain and your struggle right now because I have been too. And what'll happen is the Mario Odyssey, or any of the things really. Every single game I heard you can play without the VR, but it's like really lame. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know, like if suddenly, Wii Sports, they took out that part in the bowling that made it motion. Suddenly, yeah, okay. I mean, there's still some really good bowling games out there, but you really gotta swing your arm to get the full experience. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to see if they're going to release like some old school 3D games.
Like what?
Like there's that Battle Tank game that was in the arcade.
Oh yeah,
that was the that was all wireframe. They could re-release some sort of Faceball game, which was a game on the Game Boy and the Super Nintendo. But there's all kinds of different ones that they could do. What's the name of that one? It's from Sega.
I actually think I know what you're talking about. I don't know many from Sega either.
I'm trying to remember which one it is.
I remember that dumb case.
Space Harrier.
Huh?
Space Harrier.
Space Harrier. Maybe that's not it then. Maybe I was thinking something else.
They could do a 3D version of that.
Xanalos is saying another good package is limited SMM2, includes 12-month subscription and stylus for Switch, but stylus will come after the game with code for get from Nintendo's shop page. I don't really know what he's talking about there.
So Super Mario Maker 2.
Super Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
He's in England.
I saw something about the stylus, but I didn't see any other information on it. I just saw
the
stylus they were doing.
Are you from England? Xanalos and Super Mario Maker 2. Okay. And then Justin says, anyone know if they're going to release SNES controllers for the Switch?
Just give us an adapter so we could use the ones from the SNES Classic.
That would be cool. The Xanalos, so official SNES controllers are not out on the Switch. The Bluetooth ones are they're from like 8-bit-0 or something like that. So no, those are not official. The only official ones are the NES controllers. You're from Greece. Okay, that makes sense. Because the Nintendo of Europe is doing Mario Maker pre-bonus orders. In America, we are not getting any pre-order bonuses as of yet, but we probably will. In America, most of our pre-order bonuses, they get like spread out between like GameStop, Amazon, Best Buy, and then Target usually gets something like Target always gets like the dumbest, no offense, but they get the dumbest pre-order bonus. Like, here's a skin for your controller. Here's a little button for your joystick. Although Chris told me he had it, was gonna send me it, so I was like jackpot.
Well, Nintendo is working with that company Connects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing like the blind bag Mario characters and stuff, and the different building sets and stuff like that.
That would be
give us like an exclusive set with that as a pre-order bonus. Kind of like how when a Lego game comes out, there's an exclusive minifigure.
Yeah, that would be super cool. But yeah, we don't have any of that stuff from Greece. You guys get a bunch of different stuff. I know Europe, England, actually, Great Britain is going to get with their Super Mario Maker, they're going to get a World of Nintendo play set, Figurama set.
Oh, neat.
And it's really cool. Yeah, in America, those things go like, I mean, World of Nintendo toys, and those are the really cool toys from Jakks, JAKKS. And
I still have sitting over here on the desk, I still have my Mario Maker.
Yeah. I should have got that one. I love Construction Mario. And yeah, they're going to have a bunch. They're not going to, just ironically, it's not going to have Construction Mario. It's going to have Mario, but it's going to have Mario and a Koopa Troopa and a Goomba and all that stuff. William, I want to go grab my my counts of the thing. Greece is very back. No available VR package or Labo 3. Whoa, you don't have that? Oh, okay. So Xanalos, are you saying basically, is that why you were asking if you were going to be able to do the Mario Odyssey stuff because Greece doesn't have the VR capabilities? So if that was the case, then yes, you will have the ability to play those games, but it won't be as cool, most likely. Luigi is not part of...
They should have a Luigi in this.
Yeah, Luigi was not part of one of the World of Nintendo figures given away, but it is coming. I mean, there are Luigi World of Nintendo figures. Why do you like Luigi? William, you tell me all about Luigi while I go get my Switch, and that way people can see me put it in. Okay?
Do I look like Devin?
Well, you just booed. No, Luigi.
Because I know other people. I know multiple people that like Luigi.
Well, tell me why. Go into Luigi's history. Give me like 2 minutes. You have to chat for yourself for a minute, and I'll go get my visor. All right, go.
I mean, Luigi. He was always the second banana to Mario, and that's just how it was. Like people, he was always a player too, and there were people that kind of connected to him. The people back in the day playing two NES controllers, you always gave the second controller, usually the worst controller you have, usually a third party. You always gave that to your little brother or little sister or the friend that came over. I'll get a link coming up for the Mario Maker 2.
Mario Maker 2, yeah. But that's just for Britain. So here is...
Sadly not over there.
Here is... Have you put this together yet? Have you made one?
I'm actually thinking of picking one up tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I've heard that they're selling out, but
we've had one sitting on the shelf at work for the past couple days.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay, so hopefully you have it. William works at Best Buy. So here is... Not Best Buy, Target, I apologize. So here is the kit. I actually did a video on it, so if you guys want to check that out, it's like, I don't know, just look a day, 3 days ago or something. This is Nintendo Labo, and it took me, I think, 53 minutes to do this. And it's kind of weird, to tell you the truth. It's so ingenious, though. Like, when you're putting this stuff together, you're like, how is this going to work? Why are they telling me to do this? And then they suddenly, like, there's like a little bit of like styrofoam stickers here. And that's to keep it from sliding in and out. Because you're like, how is this not going to slide out? How is this not going to fall out? So this is what you do. You take your Joy-Cons out. Let me see. I'll take Zelda out, and I'll put the Labo game in. Whatever. So Labo, and then you just slide it in, just like so. Is it better this way if I slide it in? And then boom, it's in. And then you put the Joy-Cons back on. It's such a weird thing. And it's already like, yeah, the music, it's kicking. How do I look?
Yeah, they seriously need to put a head strap on it.
It's so weird. Well, Nintendo doesn't want you to really, like... Nintendo is just like, oh, gosh. It's hard for me to keep both my eyes open. Because, it's just, my eyes are not used to it. And I don't know if it matters if I have glasses or not, but, you know, it works.
Put the little foam thing around it like the Virtual Boy had.
Say that again.
You know, I think I would go and recolor my kit as the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, that would be cool. Oh man, see, Nintendo is weird. I know it's a little hypocritical because I'm like, oh yeah, we don't get Persona 5. Nintendo hates money, but it does seem like Nintendo could do a little more to just, I don't know, milk it. You know, just have a Virtual Boy kit. You know. Like, why not? Why not?
I'm wondering if they would think that, it's that thing from back in the 90s that was giving everyone eye strain. Yeah, we don't want to buy that. I think that's what they're avoiding.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's like at this point, Virtual Boy is like sought after, and
yeah, very sought after.
Very sought after.
Especially the case from Best Buy. Not Best Buy, from Blockbuster.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's weird.
Well, because it's rare. It's one of those items that when you rented the Virtual Boy there, they put it in one of those cases. So it's not something that people just immediately were able to keep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I rented a Super Nintendo from Blockbuster before.
The only system I ever rented was a TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah. Did you play Bonk, the big old cave boy with the big head?
They didn't have it at the rental store I used to go to, but they did have Keith Courage and Bomberman.
Bomberman started on TurboGrafx. TurboGrafx is one of those systems. Neo Geo has always kind of had its, like, you know, they were the hipsters. Neo Geo people were the hipsters before there were hipsters of the video game community.
And the little system they released not long after. Yeah, I love this little thing.
And
I don't know if you can hear it. Clicky.
I can hear it clicking, yep.
Yeah.
And, but TurboGrafx seems to have come back. A lot of people, like, talk about it. Not NES. I'm not sure. We're definitely Nintendo fans. Nintendo's never died out. Although it did have a Disney effect. It seems like, if you notice, Disney almost died, it seemed like, in the 80s. It was like just nothing. And then Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, and suddenly now Disney owns the Infinity Gauntlet, you know what I mean? And it just took the Bomberman. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it started on TurboGrafx. But Bomberman, like,
I think it might have been a like one of the PC game.
Oh, you think so?
Like one of the early computer games. I think it might have been one of those.
I guess I'm not 100% sure. I
I'm
just, for
looking
some
it up.
reason, I want to say it was Turbo Graphics. And I could be wrong, though, because I thought for the longest time Bonk was Turbo Graphics, but then it turned out that Bonk is just a really rare NES game. And for whatever reason, Turbo Graphics just, it became their Mario. Because they must have bought the rights after the first one or something like that. I know that Bomberman was pretty big on the SNES. There's an SNES version that was great and awesome, and it really utilized Nintendo. Nintendo's always been trying to get people to play 4 players, and they sold a thing separate that allowed you to like have 4 players plugged in, and if you on the Wii Virtual Console, me and my buds, we downloaded Bomberman for the Super Nintendo, and it was just as intense as Melee back in the day when we got tired of Melee.
I just looked it up. It was released in 1983 on the NEC PC-88, and it was also released on the MSX.
MSX. One of those is where Where did Metal
MSX
Gear
was
start?
where Metal Gear.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, there you go, Bomberman. So what came first, though? Turbo Graphics or NES? How about that?
The NES... Oh, the NES one came out in 85, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 85 was that one. And then I'm looking to see...
We got our... Any questions? Everyone, ask a question. Who's out there? Ask us any question. Let's see if we can... He's looking it up, but let's see if we can stump William.
It was TC16, but where is it actually saying it?
And it's
they're mentioning the 93 and 94 ones on here.
Okay, no worries. But, another nostalgia is knockoff consoles like
90 and 91. So yeah, it was the NES one, and then that one was later.
I guess I was wrong. Maybe did Turbo Graphics do the 4-player first? Then I don't know. Why did I think that? Oh no, you never know. Sometimes you just have wrong information that suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, all my life is a lie. My whole Bomberman life is a lie. Xanalos, I have something from Greece. There was a Zelda item that was a Greece exclusive. It was a a can of dirt. And they gave it away with Zelda Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. It has Deku seeds in it. And 100 were available in America, and then the rest were a Greece exclusive. It was just, like, so weird. And it took me a while to track it down. I got it, though. So I have something from... Well, there's a chance I have it from America. I got one of the 100, or I most likely got it from you guys, though.
And Ken, to answer your question from before, the first 4-player Bomberman was Super Bomberman on the Super Nintendo.
Okay, there. I must have... I don't know, but I'll tell you what, that was so fun. It was crazy fun. I got it for the Switch. It was one of the first Switch games, actually, one of the original 7. And it was good, but it just, I had Breath of the Wild. I couldn't, not play Breath of the Wild, you know what I mean? And then I kind of just never got back to it. How do you find time? How much time do you devote in a day, William, to playing video games?
It depends on the day. This week, I haven't really played that much at all because of work.
Okay, well, let's pretend it's a normal week. What do you think you would be playing in an average day?
3 to 5, maybe.
3 to 5 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I could get 5 hours in. I have to sneak it in. The channel kind of has been sucking. I gotta figure out a way to balance, because I had the balance going, but then the channel, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. The channel, it's just I don't know, it's something new and it takes a lot of time. So I haven't fully discovered how to balance the channel with the family, with the job with the video games, blah, 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 blah. Also, I like the collecting aspect of it, and sometimes I feel like, I'm doing more collecting than I am playing. I got to get back to the playing aspect of the video gaming.
And I've been doing a bit of collecting and playing recently with kind of picking up an old hobby I had back in the 90s for a little bit. Trying to get back into Magic the Gathering.
Ooh, Magic the Gathering.
So I've been picking up stuff, and yeah.
Why are you trying to get back into it?
I want to get more into chatting and meeting people locally.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've got you guys on the show. I got my friends up in Maine. I have some people I chat with at work, and then people I know from online that I have on Facebook. And people I meet like every other year for Star Wars Celebration. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of people that I'm really hanging out with and chatting with.
Okay, I can see that. I played Magic the Gathering for a hiccup. I played it for a minute, and it was cool. And I didn't break the bank on it. Gotta go. Justin, thank you for hanging out. Next Thursday we'll be back. You'll have most likely the entire. Actually, I don't think William's here next week, but you'll get David and Devin.
I'll at least be here for the first hour.
First hour, okay, first hour, and then it's shirts off for the second hour, right?
Yeah, I gotta leave. I gotta leave by like 3/4 of the way through the show.
Let's talk a little. Have you kept up with the? So no spoilers. Have you kept up with the Avengers and everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yes. In fact, when the Avengers was coming out, we went to the marathon they had the movies leading up to that first one. Yeah, they did the marathon in our area.
There's only been like 2 movies out since then, so it's not like there's been like.
No, this was when the first one came out. When it was all the intro movies, like all the intro movies and Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Leading up to the first meetup of everyone together.
Yeah. What would you say? What's your top 3? Top 3 Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm gonna go with Thor Ragnarok.
And that's the one, pretty much, it's the buddy movie with the Hulk, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The Captain America ones are really good.
Yeah, I would say Civil War is probably...
Yeah, that one's gonna be up there. But you gotta see his origin, too.
Yeah.
And I like what they did with Artem Zola in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, they're all really good. They didn't really the only one that really missed was what?
Thor 2. Thor 2 was a bit of a miss.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. I can understand. I don't know. I'm one of the few people who don't like Loki. I just don't like him. He does not.
My wife loves him.
Can you tell me why? Everybody loves him, and I'm just like, why though? I don't understand. He doesn't seem like that kind. I mean, I got more personality out of him, huh?
It's because of how much of a trickster he is.
He just didn't even feel that much of a trickster until he actually fought Thanos in the first or in Infinity Wars. He just didn't. I didn't feel it from him. So I just can you give me anything that would make me change my mind?
No, if you're set in your ways on not liking a character,
I want to change my mind.
Or being indifferent on a character.
I want to like him though. That's the problem. Give me a reason to like him.
Now, not spoilers, because I haven't heard any spoilers at all from the next movie, the one that's coming out tonight and tomorrow. For all we know, he isn't really dead. He's always pulling that on us in the other movies.
Yeah, but this time, how did he get killed this time? I mean, it was Thanos himself. The thing that makes me believe
see what happens. That could have also been some sort of that could have been a trick with him or a trick with Thanos as well.
Yeah, for all we know, everything's going to go right back to before it started because fact
then
that
again, he didn't have the Reality Stone at that point in time.
the fact that Gamora dies, I just don't know how Chris Pratt's the Star-Lord's character is going to go on without Gamora. On one hand, like, see, Iron Man kind of could use the death of the blonde.
Pepper Potts.
Captain America can use that death. You know what I mean? They can use death.
He already kind of did.
Yeah, he did. But Star-Lord, he doesn't need death, you know, because that's such a fun, you know, they don't need that. Star-Lord is almost like Superman, just like a, you know, but a goofy Superman, you know, just a Boy Scout, you know, while Captain America and Iron Man, they can have a little more darker edge to them, even though Captain America's been more akin to Superman in the past. Now I feel Captain America could use a little bit of a darker edge. So I wouldn't mind. I just can't see Infinity or Galaxies, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I can't see it without Gamora in it. So, and if they bring back Gamora, they can bring back anybody. Again, no spoilers. We don't know anything that's happening. We did not watch it.
All I've seen is the trailers, and that's about all I've seen. And the trailers are purposely meant to be misleading.
Oh yeah, and the producers or whatever even said some footage is that is not in the movie is in the trailer, and I think that's brilliant. I'm glad they did that. Also, if anybody wants, I did a video today on what if basically it was if anyone does a spoiler. I just did really like just stuff that happened in the Nintendo universe. I wanted to do more outside of Link and Mario, but I just they have a lot of games. And
thank you.
I would say I really like the Ant-Man series. I know Ant-Man is not. I don't know if. Oh hey, how are you?
And grab me a glass, please.
I don't know if Ant-Man is supposed to replace, you know, Iron Man because, you know, eventually these people, I mean, these are real humans. They're not like comic books where you can have, I mean, Batman just celebrated his, like, 1,000th comic book, right? You know, eventually Robert Downey Jr. is actually going to get too old to play Iron Man.
And, I mean, there was a thing with, they've already picked somebody to play Wolverine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'd have to look it up and see who it was, but they picked someone really good to play him.
I am very worried about the mutants coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like Ant-Man, but at first I was like, what is an ant gonna do, Chris? Yeah, tell me about it. 7 times the strength of his body weight. I am with you, though. And it was a weird pick when they picked Ant-Man, because I know all about comic books up until like the 2000s, you know, mid 2000s, kind of when I got out of comics, and a lot has happened. But I knew who Ant-Man was, and I was very surprised by that pick. That they're going with Ant-Man. That's interesting. And they've made it work. But is he supposed to be Iron Man's replacement? Because, you know, like I said, they got to replace him eventually.
Yeah, I don't think he's so much a replacement, but he's got a bit of a dark past the way Iron Man did. And they kind of touched on that in the second Iron Man movie with all his drinking.
Mm-hmm.
They won't get into it with the Iron Man stuff, but no, there was domestic abuse stuff in his
Ant-Man's. But that was actually after, like, he became a superhero. So that's, like, a lot of people haven't forgiven that. And that's the problem when you have a character that you have to write, like, 60 years worth of stories, and you have, like, different creators and different editors. Eventually, you're going to get a creator who tries to take superhero down some really, really dark things. And there are some things I don't think, okay, there's a line, and I believe that writer in the 70s or 80s, they crossed the line, and now they're paying for it by trying to bring Ant-Man in. But I think for the most part, people are just like, whatever about the actual comic books. Imagine the actor to pretend that's too small with green screen around and play or move when the director says move. Yeah, the reason why I'm a little worried about the X-Men being introduced to the Marvel universe is this. Now, maybe it'll be better in an actual cinematic universe, because I just don't buy that in the comic book universe, that when you have people like Captain America, Spider-Man, and Iron Man, right? You got these people. They're heroes, superheroes. And then you've got the X-Men, who are mutants. And in the X-Men universe, the Marvel universe, we'll just call it racism. There's just this really bad racism against mutants. And,
that's basically what it was meant to be. It was meant to be what's the word I'm looking for? It was a political statement at the time.
Yeah, and that part is fine. That part is fine. But what I don't buy is that Iron Man, Captain America, they wouldn't just literally step up at every opportunity to just destroy that kind of racism when it arose. Therefore, I don't see, but I never really saw that. And I get why, from a commercial standpoint, it would dilute that kind of drama that the X-Men have to deal with. So they just kind of had, the X-Men were over here, the Avengers were over here. Every once in a while their paths would cross, and then they would just kind of separate again. And that's what I'm afraid of when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because if the X-Men get introduced, suddenly there are mutants, then I don't see, just like I couldn't see Spider-Man sitting on the sideline to allow someone to insult an African American, I wouldn't see Spider-Man sitting on the sideline to letting someone insult a mutant.
I think some of that would come from in the situations where we have them, where we're actually getting them in the stories. It's not being shown in the stuff where they're all together. So I don't think they really kind of wanted to cross it.
I know why they don't want to, but that's what I never bought. I never bought that Captain America didn't stand up for the mutants more than he did. He should have literally always say, "And the mutants, I'm standing up for them," and that's my concern. See, when it's just the mutants in the Sony Marvel X-Men universe, there were no superheroes. Therefore, that kind of racism made a lot more sense. But when you have someone like Captain America, unless he's battling his own inner demons, trying to reconcile his own maybe bigotry that he has, but that he has to get over, you know what I mean? It's I just don't see Captain America not literally standing up for it because he's Captain America. You get what I'm saying?
They could do it, although I think it would probably be going a little too close to the Civil War stuff. Mm-hmm. It would be basically kind of like a Civil War 2.
And the good thing, though, the reason why it might work better, though, because in the movies, you can bring it up, actually. Maybe he could even say it real quick. You could have a little cameo of a mutant in a 2-hour movie, and that's fine. But it's different in a comic book. Like I said, you're trying to produce a 22 to 32 page comic book every single month for 40 years. Captain America's been around since 1940. Yes, there was a 20-year gap, but the dude from 63 on has had a comic book, sometimes 3 or 4.
And he was punching out Hitler on the comic sometimes.
Yes, he was. And it's I get it. I get why. I understand. It's that nerd in me that just don't. It's Ken, just try to let go of the logic of it, and it can't happen because. Spider-Man Far From Home, Star Wars number 9, also 2 good movies. Yeah. Far From Home is looking good. Mysterio is a interesting pick for Spider-Man.
I'm glad to see him in there. I've been wanting to see Mysterio as a villain.
Why do you like the fishbowl head guy?
I just like the design of him.
Really?
I like the idea that somebody that was doing like movie special effects stuff went and used that to be a villain.
Yeah, and the only if you're like, wait a second, what? You got to remember, me and William, we've read the comic books. It's not really a spoiler. It's like if you read the comic book, you know, in reality, Vulture, they changed the Vulture a lot. Originally, he was some dude with cancer who was just trying to cure his own cancer, and he was old.
Yeah, I mean, like Black Panther, they didn't just call him Panther in this movie, but no, Falcon, he was Black Falcon in the comics.
Yeah. I'm glad they dropped, because they just call him Falcon, right?
Yeah.
I understand
I can see
why.
if he called himself that would be something completely different. But if other people like, oh, it's the Black Falcon. No, but if he just came out and he got into his costume, he's like, I am the Black Falcon.
I
That's
hope
different.
If they're going to replace Captain America, in my opinion, I'm very much, you got to do what the comic book does, right? You got to, like, it has to match up with the comic book. So I don't want some new Captain America. I literally want Falcon to jump into the role as Captain America, or Bucky to jump, Winter Soldier to jump in the role. At this point, it's hard to say. If from a comic book standpoint, I would say Falcon should jump into the role. But from a movie standpoint, I think Falcon has made himself different enough that it should be Winter Soldier that jumps into the role. But it all depends on how you're looking at it.
Now, I know it wouldn't happen in the movie, but what would have been really cool, and this is not a spoiler because I have no idea what happens in the movie. If something happened to Captain America and all those characters, you got Falcon, you've got Bucky, you've got Tony, you got Rhodey there. They all stand up for him, and they've all got shields.
Oh, that would be cool.
They've all like out of the armor. From the Iron Patriot and from the Iron Man suit comes the shield.
That would be cool.
And everybody else has their own version of it. Like, our comrade has fallen. We're taking up arms in memory of him. That would be something really cool to see, especially with people loving that character so much.
I wonder if they're gonna do it. It seems like Iron Man should be the one that dies, in my opinion, because he's so old. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., like I said, he's getting old. He's lucky though because he's not. He can last longer though because technically when you're in the Iron Man suit, it's all CG. So they can actually trick you to have him in longer than Captain America, unless they make Captain America start putting on his mask again more so than not.
And if they do some sort of crossover thing with some other dimension to try to fix things, I kind of want to see other characters we haven't seen yet come in from other timelines next to the MCU. I've been wanting to see She-Hulk come into the series.
Yeah, I'm surprised she hasn't, but she doesn't have to. Wasn't she just the cousin of Bruce Banner?
Yes. Yeah, she was the cousin of Bruce Banner, and she got a blood transfusion.
Yeah,
and that's how she got the powers.
Yeah, so we don't need to have her come from a different timeline. She can come from.
No, but if they could tie it in that way too. Yeah, but to have her as their own way of getting her in there for the MCU, I could see doing that. That's also how we could get like a Miles Morales as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of when you start crossing over like that because then we're gonna get Spider-Gwen and stuff. And I understand
you don't have to bring her in.
I understand these are great characters and stuff, but in my opinion, Miles might be the only exception. He's almost like the exception to the rule. If you guys don't know who Miles is, Miles Morales or whatever his name is.
Miles Morales, yeah.
There was the Marvel Universe was going on forever. So eventually they decided, let's do another Marvel Universe. And we can basically just reboot everything and start from scratch. But we won't get rid of the other one. We'll just have two Marvel Universes. They called it the Ultimate Marvel line. And so everything was Ultimate. Peter Parker, Ultimate Spider-Man. Well, 140 issues in, they kill him, which was like crazy. You kill Peter Parker, and then they replaced him, and they never unreplaced him. Like, he never came back. He never came back to life.
Is that the same storyline that involved Doc Ock? Or is that a different storyline altogether?
Different. That's the ultimate.
Because that was another one.
That was actually in the Marvel Universe, Earth 616. And anyway, so then they had another Spider-Man character called Miles Morales, and he actually had a very long run as well. And usually when you replace a character that is someone like Peter Parker, it's like, no way. But they made it work. Now, but the problem is, you still got Peter Parker, and I don't like multiple universes. Do you watch The Flash on CW?
I've watched some of it.
Okay, well, I loved it. I loved Arrow seasons 1, season 2, season 3. It started the dip, right? And Flash, I loved season 1. I liked season 2, but in season 2, they started going into the multiverse. And let me tell you something. It was cool until it became every episode into the multiverse. And that's what I fear that the Marvel Universe would do. I get it. Miles Morales is a great Spider-Man, but I don't think bringing him into the Marvel Universe is worth it, because I think it'll ruin it. You know what I mean? I'm just a little afraid that they can't handle it. And keep Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse. Just that Spider-Verse movie let's just keep that there, but let's keep the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, they've already brought Howard the Duck, which was very they were treading there.
And I like Howard.
I do too, but I remember that movie in the 80s. They were treading.
Yeah. I still like Howard.
Okay. So, does anybody in the chat have any questions for us? If you do, shout them out. I got a hypothetical question for you. Oh, wait. Did I ever get your 3 Marvel movies?
Kind of. No, Iron Man's still going to be a classic for me. I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, me too.
I thought that was it. And especially you and I at our age, that music hits home for us.
Yeah.
That's soundtrack of our very early youth.
Pretty much. Yeah, that is our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you like better, 1 or 2?
For Guardians, 1 maybe, simply because I like Groot when he's full grown.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's great when he's a little kid too. But
he was cracking me up when he was trying to figure out to get the keys or whatever in that cell, dude. I was laughing so hard. It reminded me.
He's gonna wake up and he's not gonna know where his eye is.
That reminded me of my son Cornelius. When we tell him to get something, that was it. I think Google was spying and told Disney how to write something. Because when we tell Cornelius to go get something, I'll tell you what, he comes back with someone's eyeball, and we're like, dude, what happened?
One of my best friends is blind in one eye.
Yeah.
Since birth, and he eventually they removed the eye, so he has a glass eye now, and he had his glass eye it was soaking in a glass, and one of his kids took it. So, I'm sure you've seen the meme picture of the kid on the beach, the fistful of sand. He's like, Yeah. So, I grabbed that, and I added the caption, "He got my nose, I got his eye."
Nice. That should have went crazy, viral. Tobey Maguire was a good Spider-Man, but you know what? Now when I look back at it, I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I liked it back in the day when I saw it for the first time ever. I was like, this is the most, pun intended, amazing superhero movie of all time. And now when I go back, I'm just like, it's okay. You know what I mean? When you go back now, I'll tell you this though. I hated Spider-Man 2 right from the get-go. I hated Spider-Man 2, and he was just taking off his mask for everybody. He was like, "Hey, look at me, I'm Spider-Man." But Spider-Man 1, I thought it was brilliant. Now though, not so much. I love Tom Hardy. Or is that his name? The current Spider-Man? Love that kid as Spider-Man.
No, it's Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah, he is so good.
Tom Hardy is Bane.
Yes, he is Bane. You merely adopted the superhero persona. I was born into it.
They didn't know I was Spider-Man until I took off the mask.
I say Infinity, or not Infinity, Guardians 1 is my favorite, but I'll tell you what, Ego, the Living Planet, I've loved Ego, the Living Planet for 30 years.
They brought him in. I mean, that's not the original origin story
of
his father, but I thought it was interesting that they brought that in. People didn't know who Ego was.
I couldn't believe it. Like, midway through the movie, I'm like, no, they're not. This guy isn't. He is not Ego, is he? I didn't know anybody knew who Ego was. Ego is like, I mean, in the comic book, Ego is straight up a planet with a face. So I just like, and I always was just dying to see Galactus and Ego go at it. And
and they couldn't do Galactus in the Fantastic Four stuff because of copyrights.
Yep. And so that's why it's hard for me to pick, because I just absolutely love Ego. I don't even know why I like Ego. He wasn't like really in anything I ever read. I just like the concept. There's this planet that is a sentient being. See ya, Xanalos. Thursday nights we're going to be doing this. Usually we talk more video games, but it's Avenger weekend, so we're talking Avengers. But the first one was superior in my opinion, but the second one was very, very close.
Now, with all the bad Fantastic Four movies, which one was your favorite?
Oh gosh, the one they didn't air.
That's actually my favorite one. The Roger Corman one from the 90s.
Yeah, because didn't that get released on YouTube or something a while ago?
It got released on YouTube. I have a VHS copy, which somebody then put onto a DVD for me.
Nice. I actually have not watched it.
It's so interesting, and the characters look like the characters.
Like,
you actually have, like, the person who's playing Mr. Fantastic. He looks how you'd expect Mr. Fantastic to look. If you look up the Roger Corman movie, you can see a picture of the four of them together, and they just look perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, excuse me.
And one of the first people you see in the movie, the professor that's telling them about this radiation storm that they call Galactus, but it's not Galactus. No, Colossus. No, they called it Colossus. It's the dad from Punky Brewster.
No. I don't even... Punky Brewster, my sister loved that show.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
Okay, so I got a hypothetical question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you would actually probably have a good answer, because you would just apply it to your, and I think I've asked you this in the past about your video games, but let's say there are in-box collectors and there's out-of-box collectors for amiibos.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a sealed Dark Souls amiibo and I opened it, now I have an open one. And then I had a sealed Dark Souls amiibo, same exact one, but one's open, one's sealed. How many would you consider that I have? I mean, obviously I have two objects, but would you say I have, like, if I was trying to, like, database it, would I be like, is that two separate items, or is it still just one item, but they're different? You know what I mean?
Two copies of the same item.
Two copies of the same item.
And I would put a like, if you're putting it in a list, I'd put it down there. I would put a little comment next to it. 2 copies, one One sealed, one open.
Okay, one sealed, one open.
I've done that with some of my collection with some of my games. I've gone in, put down that because I go on Game FAQs to keep my list together, and you have to click on the game in order to see it. But there's a little note section that I'll add in there if I have an additional copy of it or not.
Okay.
And there's very few games I have, and the exact same copy again. One of them is the original Kingdom Hearts. I have a Black Label copy still sealed, and one that I opened.
Gotcha. Let me ask you something. You seem to be a little more. Looks like you're. There you go. You seem to be a little. You're like. I've seen collectors. You're very confident in your collecting. I've seen some collectors. They feel the need to like really just be like. This is why. They really want to pound in the fact of the reason why they collect something, and in my opinion, sometimes it comes from a place of insecurity. And it's like almost like you just insecure, like you say you're not insecure, but I feel like you're insecure. You know,
I do it for the fun.
Yeah, but what? Okay, so you would rather have a, let's say, digital. Why a physical and not a digital game?
Digital, there's no real ownership personally for me. Other people, no, it's fine if somebody wants to buy a game digitally, have it on their system, ready to go for them. I mean, there are people that'll buy a game cheap and get it like that and just not care. But some people, they'll want their physical game to get it and then just return it to the store when they're done and get some credit for it. Get it a little cheaper. But some people just enjoy, some people might not have the space for a lot of games. And for some people, just 10 games sitting there is too many games.
Yeah. Man, well, imagine that world. Okay, so it's like...
this huge shelf over on this side.
Okay, now here's the thing. So some people... So now answer me this. We got the Zelda game right here. It's a Zelda game. Why? What if I threw away the box?
Like many people do, and then they go and they trade the game into GameStop.
Yes. And then we go, and then we get, you and I, and Devin, and David, we get that GameStop ugly case. And it's like, ugh.
Oh, you guys are getting it. I don't go near it.
You don't go near it. Why not?
No, I don't go near them.
Why not?
Because I'm not buying a physical copy of a game that is not complete.
Right,
I have to have the box and the instructions if it originally came with instructions.
Why?
It's all about the collection. That's what I want in my collection is complete copies.
Right. Like, I hear people say, like, for Nintendo Labo, for instance, people are like, oh, you're just paying for cardboard. You're just paying for cardboard. But then I started thinking about it, though. I'm like, well, you're just paying for plastic, right? I mean, I don't even know. In 10 years or 20 years when the Switch has ceased to exist, right? Will this game still be playable? Like, it's not like an NES cart. An NES cart and an NES, that's like those cars from the 60s, right? You can just still drive them if you just get the right piece of metal. But now, a car from 1998, though, has a computer. And every year, the computer gets more and more in depth. So it's like, is this just a hunk of plastic? Or is this just a hunk of plastic? I mean, like, I'm just trying to figure out. And I'm not like, not just you. I'm just like, is this more of a philosophical or even trying to get in the mind of us collectors? Like, trying to almost like even questioning myself. Like, why? What triggers? Triggers this? Chris.
Like a lot of things.
Oh, and Chris, you're in the chat right now. What triggers you? Why do you want steelbooks? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, I'm not like, there's no question. I mean, look at my stuff. Like, why do I got, look, you see those trash cans right there? Look, right above there, there is a 8-bit, it looks ugly on purpose, but it's authentic, and it's a picture, and it has link, and I didn't open it. I didn't put I didn't take those 4 little white things off it, but because I have it intact right now. I've been opening limited run games for my channel, but if it wasn't for my channel, I would never open a game like that. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, see, when people are talking about the argument over physical and digital, the ownership thing comes up.
That's legit.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Now, granted, yes, technically, we also do not own the game when we have a physical copy. That the ownership, what they're doing is they're giving us the right to use the data.
Yeah.
That's what the ownership technically is. Like we don't own the game. We have the right to access that data through the means of which we purchased it. So be it getting it digital or getting it on a disc or on a cartridge.
You could say
means that we purchased it.
You could say it's like a movie ticket. Like if I were to go buy a movie ticket, they were giving me the right to, for 3 hours and 5 minutes, I would have the right to watch Avengers. But after that, it's expired. And when I get Breath of the Wild on the Switch, I have the right to use that data as long as the Switch's modem is working or whatever.
Yeah. So, I buy that physical game. I got my game right down here. Here's my Smash Brothers. Now I can open it up. Well, the disc's not in there right now. It's in the other case.
Uh-huh.
But the cartridge, I own. The data on it, I don't. This case, I own. Nintendo can't take that from me. And that's what owning the game to me is I have the physical game and everything that came with it with that purchase.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Chris said...
Yeah.
Chris is like, he likes to display his Switch games. And he likes... because him and I... he says he really likes steelbook cases now because of... he started, I think it was when I did how to get a Pokemon steelbook on my channel.
Mm-hmm. Steelbooks are great.
And he said he likes those stand out more. And they do. I got a couple right here. I've been meaning to do a steelbook.
I've got a couple down here, and I think over here too.
I've been wanting to do a showcase of these, actually. You got the Mario. Here, let me see.
Most of mine aren't the Switch ones, though.
He probably has. This one's a weird one to me. It was a GameStop exclusive.
Yeah.
I used to love Harley Quinn. Now I don't really like her anymore.
So there was a steelbook for the game Ni no Kuni on the PS3.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Now the thing with that game was they did a special edition. It was called the Wizard Edition. And you had to pre-order it ahead of time before the game even came out, and they were doing a very limited amount of them. So they closed the orders on it. And then shortly before the game came out, they opened it again. Most of the people that ordered during that time didn't get the game. But with all the stuff that came with it, there was no steelbook. GameStop got steelbooks for people who pre-ordered the game there. So one of the guys that used to work at the GameStop in my area, he just gave me a steelbook. And it was funny, I think they got about 8 of them, and about 6 of them that came in were all damaged.
Oh, yeah?
And he gave me one of the ones that was not damaged.
Nice.
So I not only got Wizard Edition exclusive to the company that made the game, like you could only get it from their site, you couldn't get it in the stores, but I also got the steelbook.
That's cool.
For getting it from the stores.
That's cool. You know what, Chris? Want me to blow your mind, Chris? I think I showed this on the channel before. All right, I'm not trying to brag. So maybe that wasn't a good way to open. Want me to blow your mind? I got such cool stuff. But he's a steelbook fan, so I just wanna. I wasn't planning on getting up, so I'm in my PJs, Marvel PJs though. So
I'm still in my work clothes.
Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, do these guys think I have pants on right now? I do. I always have pants on because you never know when you got to stand up. But watch that.
As Slow King would say, I could use pants. Oh, here we go.
Check this out. This is not for the Switch, so don't worry. You don't have to get this for your collection. This is only 100 of these exist. It is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. And it was given out at some random place in Great Britain. Like almost like a Sam Goody store. It was like one of my mail call Mondays. I opened it up and I went more in depth into it, and it's nothing fancy. These Switch cases are way better. They're like way sturdier. They're stronger. Like I could seriously, if I wanted to, I could dent this really quick. But yeah,
there's probably a bit like the one that for Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube.
I think so, actually. So yeah, so this, and look at it. It's like nothing special whatsoever. Listen to it. It's like aluminum, and there's only 100 of these out there. Now, the reason why I got this was not because it's a steelbook. It's because it's Zelda. It took me a long time. It took me a long. If I can find
one of my steelbooks.
Yeah, you go for it. It took me a long time. I found somebody who was selling this, and these go for quite a bit. So it was like it took me 6 months of negotiating to get this because I can't. The stuff I get, I can't afford it really. So I have to negotiate. But yeah,
the only one I could find for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh, that's cool. That's
we were talking about Mark.
That's Ultron, yes. Right?
Yeah. Well, Ultron Sigma.
Ultron Sigma.
When he merges with Sigma.
Gotcha.
For Mega Man X. So
yeah. How were those given out?
This was part of the collector's edition.
Okay. So this would definitely be my most prized steelbook collection thing. And you know what? Another thing I'm gonna do, I gotta do a rarest, my rarest items or something. I don't know, but it's hard for me to. I have
no idea what mine is.
Exactly. It's hard to really determine because it's like this should be one of them, but I don't know. There's certain things that are valued more actually than this, but there's less of this than those, so it's like weird. Let me see. I have some other steelbooks. I should
give my list to David and have him pick out what the rarest thing in my collection is.
I've got one thing. I did it for my my April Fool's Day joke. I knew what it was when I was opening, right? And then I never actually showed the item. It was because mail call Monday was on April Fool's. But that thing and what that was in there, I've been trying to rack my brains how I'm going to showcase this. Because if I do it right, I don't know, maybe I get some new subscribers that way, because it's a weird item, but I want to be like, I got to keep it on the down low, what it is. But let me see if I can find other steelbooks for Chris. Hang on a second. I got a couple others, I know that.
I thought I was going to sneeze, so I shut my mic off for a second there. Yeah, all my steelbooks I can't reach at the moment. Because they're up on a shelf over here. I'd have to get up from the computer. I'm sure people have seen before. This is... that is my game case up here. That is Star Wars stuff up there. Yeah, stay. But that is the game case. And miscellaneous stuff over here. And there's still stuff that's boxed away that I don't have on the shelves. Mostly the older stuff in my collection, like my NES stuff. Like anything prior to... Like anything before 2000s is currently packed away.
Okay, so, and I'm trying, Chris, so you, believe it or not, I love that Chris loves steelbooks, so, like, now I've been seeking out steelbooks so I could just showcase them to him.
And I was just mentioning how most of my stuff right now, like anything, like, prior to 2000 is packed away. Most of my stuff out right now is anything after 2000s.
So, when I find out that one of my, like, I don't know, viewers or whatever, you know, you guys like something, I try to like really like key in on it. So this stuff right here, this is for the Wii U, Smash Brothers. This is from the Future Shop, and you have Pit, Diddy, Zelda, Link, Mario, Pikachu. Interesting that they chose Diddy. I was very interested in that. So this is for the Smash Brothers Wii U. Also from the Future Shop, you have Zelda Skyward Sword. And
that one looks nice.
Yeah, this one is really cool.
Yeah,
especially
I like the way the front of it is. No, I like
you
the
like
way
the
the front
front
of it is with the way it's all the part around.
Yeah, that you're right. That is actually really nice.
The way it's kind of what's that, raised on the
Yep.
sides?
Yep, embossed or something like that.
Embossed, yeah.
And then this is your inside here. And again, yeah, the Wii U actually has a couple. Epic Mickey also has one, and Super Mario Brothers U has a steelbook. I don't have those anymore. I used to, but I eventually sold off my Wii U collection to fund my Zelda habit. And there's also steelbooks that were only released in Europe for the Wii U. But these are the ones that I have, and I've kept these because of, well, the Zelda aspect of it. The Switch ones I've kept mainly so I could actually do that video that I've been talking about. Baybo Angel. Oh, the update is out. What time is it? Was I right?
9:25.
So 9 o'clock probably. So sounds like the you can play Breath of the Wild on Labo. So thank you for letting us, for US versions. US versions for the Wii U Steelbooks, if that's what you're talking about, they're not actually US, they're Canadian. Those were only available in Canada. If you're going to buy the Skyward Sword one, you could probably buy it for $40. I don't know what the Smash Brothers one's going for. Probably cheap, though. It's usually the Skyward Sword one's the expensive one. But there's Skyward Sword, there's Smash Brothers, there's Epic Mickey. Epic Mickey, don't pay any more than $10 for. And then Super Mario, which is around $20. And they're all from Canada.
I would think one of those games that the ones that people campaigned for would have been nice if one of those had a steelbook.
Oh, like the Xenoblade or the Lost Story and Pandora's Tower?
Yeah. Which I have all three of those.
I did at one point. Again, I sold everything. Okay, so the update looks good on low res. Baybo Angel. Oh, he's saying for the US. Okay, so that's what Chris was talking about, actually. He was talking about let's see. Let's see how we do it. This is all live. We'll do this together. I am going to put in my Zelda. Then I will hit the button 3 times. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. So Zelda's in, software closed. Now I'll just click on Zelda. Let's see what happens if I click on Zelda. Put on my guy. Now hopefully it'll tell me there needs to be a software update, but nope, it didn't. So maybe let's see.
Maybe it's going out. Maybe it's going out in waves.
Yeah. Okay. So it's asking me to do my controls. Let me get my controllers in. Let's just see this together. All right. Okay. So now I got my controller set. No, new game, play in master mode. Let's see options. Let's just see. No. All right. So this is version 1.5 I'm on. So you know what? I'm going to go home. Do you guys know how to set... Here, we'll do a little tutorial. If you don't know how to update a game, not necessarily your system, first you close your game. Do you know how to close your game? To do that, you just hit X, and then you hit close. Now your game's closed. So now you get on your game. Let's see. You get on your game, and what is it? I think it's Y? No, plus. So you're on your game, you hit plus, and then it goes to your game's information, and then you go down to software update. You go over to via the internet. You hit A, checking for updates, and now it's downloading. So you see that, guys? Not everybody got the download. It didn't automatically do that. So you gotta like, sometimes you gotta do it. You gotta manually do it.
I had to do a system update first. Let's see.
So yeah, system update. Do you know how to do a system update?
Yeah, I already did it. I just did it.
So I went to the menu of the game and updated. Yep. So there you go. Ooh, buddy. I don't have Mario Odyssey because my wife, like I said, is my wife's been in Michigan for like 2-3 weeks, and she doesn't come back for another week. We definitely did not expect her to be gone so long, and I sent her with stuff before, like, thinking, oh, they'll be back before the 25th, and so Mario Odyssey I don't have.
Oh, and Smash Brothers still had another update too.
Yeah, that
since Joker.
Oh yeah, yep. That there was a Joker crash happening actually.
Oh,
it wasn't like
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that was probably the main reason, because it was a legit, when you got into classic mode, and if you won with your Smash Ball, basically it would soft crash your game, which soft crash means it just like locks it up, freezes it up. All you gotta do is turn it off, turn it back on, and you're ready to go. It's not like it's going to wipe out your data or this or that. So yeah, I'm updating right now.
Mine's almost done with its update.
But you're doing the system right now, right?
No, it's not. I'm doing like the game update. It's going right now. See?
I think I started before you. You must have quicker internet than me.
Oh, I have very quick internet here.
I thought I had the best. I'm going to call my provider.
I think it's 90 up, 90 down.
90 up, 90
down.
Or
80 up, 80 down.
I thought...
Yeah, my update's done.
What? Look at my update. Look at it. It's like a pink...
And I'm doing all three at once. My Smash Brothers is going right now. That one's...
AT&T? You're getting a phone call from me tomorrow.
Get yourself some Fios.
Oh my gosh! Good golly! I thought I had good internet.
Or I could advertise for my friend. Get Spectrum.
What do you mean get Spectrum? Who's your friend? Can you hook me up?
Well, it's one of the providers.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. I know they're up in Maine. I think they're also in New Hampshire, but I don't think there are any in my area.
Yeah, probably not in Texas then. I think the only internet we have is like a couple hamsters running on a wheel. Man, I'm still updated. I am still updated. Now I'm like,
the Smash one's done. Mario Odyssey's at half. I was doing 3 of them.
I wish you had the oh man, we could be like on the podcast together right now doing this.
Too bad we can't broadcast from inside of it. So
I know. I was trying to figure. Some dude's gonna do it. Some dude actually figured out a way to make the VR goggles into a first-person. It's a mod though, a first-person mod of this, so it's not like legit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo sends a bullet to that guy's account. But
now the question is, when is Minecraft getting the VR update?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. You take a couple Joy-Cons in your fist and you start punching some trees. Yeah, man.
I think it could be interesting. I don't normally go for a lot of VR stuff, but
I don't know. There's something magical.
If it's inexpensive, I'll go for it. For the PS4, it's such a pain.
Yeah,
there's so many cords for it.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's just, there's something magical about Nintendo. Just when Nintendo does it, it's like, I get it, I'm a fanboy, but come on, there is something magical about it. It's like, I give a lot of slack to YouTubers. Like, even in the beginning, I'm like, where's the accountability? Why can YouTubers just say whatever they want? I did pick this little bit of knowledge up from Beat 'em Ups, and I'll be right back, Chris. So I'll credit him. He once said, Disney, it's like Nintendo has the magic that Disney lost. He didn't say it like this, but I got the idea from him. It's like Disney's on everything nowadays. You can't like throw a rock and not hit something owned by Disney. But like Nintendo still has that magic. You know what I mean? And it's like when Sony does VR, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Nintendo does VR, it's like, whoa, and it's cardboard, you know. But it's like, whoa.
I'm wondering when Nintendo's gonna release their cards on a console. What was it? The Hanafuda, the cards they used to do when they were in the card business.
Yeah, who knows?
I can't remember. I know the name of it. I'm just.
I know what you're talking about. Someone tried to.
But they should do that. They should just as something, just a very, very, very casual thing for people to play. Get together with somebody online and play the game.
Honestly, you know what? You should write them. Nintendo is weird. They actually like write them and say, just give it away for free, like you did with Tetris, and they might do that. Like, I'm not even joking.
That's what I was looking for. That's the name. Or even like they did the Pokemon card game on the Game Boy Color back in the day. Why can't we have one of those on one of the systems again?
Okay, my update. 5 years later, it's done. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's go through it. I know Babo Angel has got it, but so I'm clicking on Zelda. Zelda VR. What a world we live in. All right, it's 35, so in a half an hour, we're going to close out the show. So if anybody has any questions or anything, make sure to ask them, because we are not locked behind a paywall. So now I'm in version 1.6.
It'd be interesting to see how it looks like without it inside the VR headset.
Okay, here we go. Toy-Con. So what you have to do is go to Options on the main menu. You go to Options. You hit Toy-Con VR goggles. This game is compatible with the Toy-Con VR goggles. Do you want to use them? Sure. The following information should be checked by an adult. All right, William, You're the adult, okay?
We're the same age.
When using the Toy-Con VR goggles, only play while seated. Be mindful of your surroundings and other people. Make sure to take regular breaks. Restrict use of VR mode for children 6 and under. Oh, my kids are going to hate me.
That exact same sort of thing was on the Virtual Boy. There was a big warning on there about younger kids playing it.
Because, my one son's going to be 7 soon, so he'll be like, all right, I'll manage. But
their eyes are still in development, so that's part of the reason why.
You know what? This is fitting. I'm upside down. I learned about the VR on the podcast, like on a Thursday podcast, like 2 Thursdays ago. And now, here I am for the first time ever. You guys can watch me. All right, I'm a little weird.
I want to see what it looks like. We'll want to see what it looks like outside of it, too.
Here's the thing, William. Believe it or not, this is my first time
with VR.
Ever in VR. Like what you saw earlier, that was my second time ever putting it to my face. The first time was when I did it.
Without your glasses.
And how long did I keep it to my face? Like 2 seconds?
And he's seated.
Okay, so, all right, so here we go. I'm going to put it to my face. I'm going to put it to my face.
And we've lost him.
Okay. Oh, wow, I can see the L and R so clear. I got to hit the L and R. It's like, I see the red in this eye. Like, the red Joy-Con is in this eye, and the blue Joy-Con is in this eye.
Which is the opposite sides.
Yeah, is that normal?
I have no idea.
Press A when ready. Okay. Am I not right? I don't know if I'm right. Okay. Okay. You know what? Oh, wow. Okay. It just took me a minute for my eyes to adjust. Everything's together now. So everything was like separate, and now just by keep looking, somehow, some way, it just all merged into normal.
Because your eyes weren't quite sure where they were supposed to be focusing on yet.
Again, because I've never done this before. Okay, so,
so give us a where you are and what you're looking at.
Okay, I'm gonna go to a continue, and this is me in I'm about to like. Okay, I'm at Hyrule Castle actually, because this is right before I go fight Ganon. It was like my last save. And I can see all of the beasts kind of like jumping up and down, and I have the bike. Ooh, I can have the bike on this. That'd be weird.
See, I don't know how you could realistically play holding it up to your face like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, these little cutscenes in between, the loading scenes, those are going to be a real pain holding it up. Okay, here we go. Oh gosh, whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I'm getting targeted. Jump. Ah, oh my gosh, this is so weird. There's
now,
Guardians.
Not doing any more. They're not doing any more updates to Starlink after the next ones. But what if they added the VR to that?
That would be cool. This is so weird. Jump. Oh wow. This is interesting. I'm flying. I'm gliding right now. Now I'm swimming. This is the green dot. It's like my stamina wheel. Okay, I gotta remember all the buttons. It's been a while since I played everything. Yeah, it's like definitely in like 3D. You know, it's like I don't know how to describe this. And the music, like,
which we can somewhat hear too.
Okay.
Or at least I can.
Is there anyone in the chat? Anyone? Okay, I'm about to do Rivali's Gale. Whoa. Okay. Here we go. Now, this is so cool. I'm about to get shot by a Guardian. Oh, there's a Guardian right there. I'm going to try to fight this Guardian. You're going to die. Let's see. Let me get my arrow out. Oh no. You got to watch where I'm walking now. It's like... Alright, what do you guys think? Will I get it?
Nick says he's still here.
Nick, how are you?
Can't see the chat.
I am playing VR Zelda right now.
All right, so he's asking, is it in first person or is it third person?
Third person. Oh gosh, it is so big. That Guardian is so big right now. Holy crap.
See, I almost thought they would have put it into a first person.
Oh my gosh, he is so big. Oh, where am I? I gotta get out of here.
Saying you can play on the bed with the Switch on your face now.
Oh my gosh! Get out of here! Get a little.
Bebo, that's kind of how people played the Virtual Boy. They take it off of the stand and they set it down on the bed and look into it, or they lay on the bed and put the thing on top of their face.
Game over. Oh jeez, that Guardian was huge. The Guardian looks so big in this. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't know.
I might have to go. If we still have one tomorrow, I'm probably going to pick it up.
Yeah, dude. You got to do it. Wow. I'm kind of like... That was the first time I was ever in VR.
Except it wasn't in first person, which would have been really cool.
Yeah, not first person. It was definitely third person, but... I'm trying to think. You know those, like, the 3D was very reminiscent of maybe a... Oh, gosh. I am a little...
Like going to the theater?
Maybe not at like almost one of those prisms that would, move. Maybe even like the 3DS. 3D. So it wasn't like total, but I mean, I'll tell you what, when that Guardian got right up at me, dude, it was huge. Absolutely huge. I have never experienced the Guardian that big before. Like with it right in my face.
No, it would look even bigger in first person though.
Yeah, it would. How much longer is this gonna go? I want to watch from the beginning. Hard Crab, if that's how you pronounce your name. It sounds like you have some Leet speak in there. We run huh?
Head crab.
Head crab. Thank you. It's a 2-hour show. In the first hour, we talked the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, talked mainly about the phone call that they did to the investors, and then we talked Avengers, no spoilers. Absolutely no spoilers for a good solid half an hour, and then now we're just kind of like chit-chatting about just Nintendo stuff, collectible stuff. So 15 more minutes, and then we're gonna end the show. It's a 2-hour show. This is our first Thursday podcast. We usually have 4 people too, so thank you though. Yeah, this is woo. You know what? Now that I put my eyes to it, like right away my eyes adjust too. So it's like it was really weird though, because
they know where they're supposed to be looking now.
Yeah, because literally everything was like split in half, opposite eyeballs. Ooh, you can play in bed, Zelda third person. Yeah.
Yeah, just lay on your back and stick it on your head.
My glasses are broke. That's why they're falling off my face more so than usual. So, I wish I could show you.
Yeah, just take it out of there and show us like the two.
The
screen's
let's do that.
Split in half.
Okay, hang on. I'm getting like destroyed by a Guardian right now. Hey, a little Korok. Whoa, this is weird. Looking at this Korok, it's like I can see over his head or something. Like the back of his head. Whoa. Okay.
Ken's about to taste colors.
Yellow. I have a fear of heights, and for a brief second, I felt like whoa, the fear of heights.
I've had that going into movies that have 3D.
Uh-huh.
Last one that did that for me was Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay, yup.
Here.
That's interesting how they set it up with the circles like that.
Yeah, so now obviously I can't really control what I'm doing, but
yeah.
But you get a feel. So this is kind of what it looks like without the VR. Or, the headset. And if it had the goggles, it would definitely be different. And can you imagine that beam of light just like going right at you? That's kind of like what I was experiencing. And like I said,
I can imagine someone playing the entire game like that.
Yeah,
without the VR, without the headset.
Yeah, I wonder.
There are people that would do it.
Maybe I should do it, like for my channel. The whole game, start from scratch, master mode. Head crab, no problem. Also, at 9:30 on the channel, typically I do a live 5-minute, 6-minute newscast. So I'll probably go live again really quick, but don't worry if you can make it or if you can't, And again, we're here every Thursday. Try the veal.
now on our new home on Thursdays.
Yes, now on our new homes. I was going to do a best of for Saturday, but I don't think I'm going to get to it. The problem with our podcast is it's 2 hours long. So to even look through 3 episodes, it's like I got to skim through 6 hours of stuff. You know what I mean? And
too bad we couldn't put together a little ad that kind of like the old TGIF, we're moving to this time sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that would have been fun. Maybe I can if I can find one of those ads, then maybe I can do something up real quick. Like that thing I did today, I thought was gonna be way quicker than I made it out to be. When I said like what to do if somebody spoils Avengers, and then it was just a bunch of like just torturous things, like have the moon land on them, have Redeads eat their brains and stuff like that. I thought that was gonna be super quick, but the thing about it is YouTube, a little behind the curtain, YouTube wants you to. I've tried 30-second videos. I've tried 1-minute videos, and when I do that, I get like 30 views, whatever, you know. But when I do 7-minute videos, YouTube will push it further. And so I'm like, all right, well, you know, I could have ended that video at 4 minutes, and I think it would have been like better. But then I was like, 4 minutes won't get me anywhere. And if I'm going to do something, I should at least do it to get my maximum potential. And then I was like, but I don't want it to suffer either. So then I had to find really good, longer footage than I was originally thinking. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I'm really digging this. I'll probably play this a little tonight. I bet you're going to get, like, RGT85 and Spawnwave are rushing to do a review on it right now. And it's like, I don't know. I think you need to have a couple hours before you really give a review on this. Because, yeah, just if I played this for if I played a solid hour, and you know people are going to do it, even though they say don't. Like, are you going to have a super monster headache? What are you going to do? And so, I'll probably play this.
That's what this is for. That's what this is for. Advil.
I'm gonna jump on the bike even and try to ride around. That'll be sweet. So I don't know. I'd be very cautious of reviews in the next 2 hours of this, because Bebo basically told us probably within 20 minutes of it going live. So yeah, I would be very cautious. But yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, so
I
within
like
the next
it.
couple hours, we're probably gonna see some videos of it.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, I personally want to as well, because, you know, I want those clicks. I want to maximize my potential, but I got to also try to be, like, fair and honest, maybe? Mm-hmm. How do you play, or did you have to play with the Joy-Cons attached? Yes. I don't think, I bet I could have taken them off, actually.
Like, it should stay in there, shouldn't it?
It does. Okay, so you can play like this, but
if you take them off of there, you don't really have anything to hold on to keep it up on your face.
Yeah.
Unless you have.
I think you need the Joy-Cons to keep it, basically to hold it, because there's no strap. So yes, you need to have the Joy-Cons. I know for a fact the Pro Controller is not compatible with Labo. So no matter what, let's just pretend I wanted to just play with these in my hand. I use the Joy-Con still, but then I wouldn't have anything to hold it, because basically what I'm doing is I'm holding it to my face. I'm literally pressing it up against my face right now. And if it wasn't for me doing this, then it would just fall. And so in theory, if I were to put a strap on this, then yes, in theory, I could take the Joy-Cons off and still play with them, but I would not be able to use a Pro Controller, as far as I know, because Nintendo has said the Pro Controllers are not available, because when you're in Labo, these Joy-Cons are actually considered toy, T-O-Y, cons. I'll pay closer attention to the notification. Thanks for the heads up. Oh, no problem, man. Thank you. Seriously. Headcrab, thank you for being part of the chat, for subscribing. That's this channel is all just about just a community. And I know that's like the buzzword from all YouTubers. It's a community, blah 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 blah. But yeah, no, this one I seriously do try to bring home that feel, and nothing's locked behind a paywall. You say something, I'm going to answer. Social games. I forgot. Yep, podcast is now on Thursdays. Don't worry. We're going to end soon, though, social. The first 15 minutes was pretty much talking about the conference call that the new president had. in regard to the investors saying that there wasn't going to be a Switch Mini. And then I kind of talked about how I felt that YouTubers aren't held accountable. I feel like they can just throw out rumors and then they get no repercussions. And then also
throwing out the rumors and then getting mad because the rumors weren't true.
Yeah, exactly. So they make the drama, and then they benefit from the drama because then they make a rant video. And then we talked a lot about Avengers tonight, but no spoilers. So if you want to go back and watch, no spoilers. And then we just kind of talked. We did a bunch of steel books. I showed a steel book. I only have like one. There's only 100 of these that exist. I showed one of those. William showed some of his stuff, and then Babo showed us the Breath of the Wild is live now on this. So I think
and
what
Mario
I'll do,
Odyssey is too. I don't know if you updated that one.
Mario Odyssey is too, but unfortunately Mario Odyssey. Maybe I'll go buy it.
Oh, that's right. You said it's with your wife.
Yeah, I get away with certain things with my wife because, for one, she's been gone way longer than I thought, so she feels bad about that. And two, I just say it's for my channel. I get this channel is like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, too bad I can't get a tax break on my Labo kit.
Yeah, not yet. Soon though. Next year actually. I'm gonna start claiming. Because because my channel is monetized now, and I've made like $80, $100 or something. I'm able to I could start taking things at a loss because I'm like, oh, it's for my channel. But yeah. So Social Games, thank you though for joining. We got 5 to 4 minutes left. The reason why David isn't here is because he actually went to see Avengers tonight, and the reason Devin is not here. Devin will be with us every other Thursday. And then William, I don't think you're here next week, but then you are.
I'll be here for half of it.
Yes, half of it. I apologize. Yes, and so yeah, and so far, this is like Nintendo does it again, people. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, didn't realize you didn't have nothing to hold to your face. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think Nintendo did that on purpose. Nintendo is weird. They're like, if you remember the Wii, they would be like, you played long enough, go outside. Nintendo's the only company is that like, hey kid, quit playing video games. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the reasons why they probably designed it this way, to not have the strap, but people have already figured out a way to do it. Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Nick said that we held the fort down pretty well, William. And I agree.
We
William,
tried.
You are an excellent co-host.
We try. Yeah,
but
I'm sure the guys, and I mentioned it off the air. It's like I'm always never really too secure in how I do stuff, so you'll notice I get a little socially awkward on the show, and
yeah,
yeah, just how I am.
It's good to share that though. I'm glad I've never said that. You've told me that, but I've never said it because I felt it was your information to share. I appreciate you sharing that with the community because you know what? That's how it's just good that we know each other. I got my own. One day I'll probably do a in-length video about some of my stuff, but I don't know if people want to know about it. They can ask me. I've told that. I sprinkled it here and there that you guys know that I have some issues and sometimes it's hard. It's life, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if people want to know more, I'm more than happy to bring it up on the show. If people want to have a discussion about it, and
and for what it's worth, I think you're great. And honestly, if I didn't, I don't know. I probably wouldn't want you back on the show. I'd probably I'd move it to, hey, what days do you work? Oh yeah, that's when the next podcast is. Social Games.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
He said, so ... Did the Switch VR? Is it worth it? Let me tell you this. I literally just used it today. I wanted my first ever experience to be on the VR. On Breath of the Wild. So I put it together. I put it to my face on the video, and then I was like, whoa. And even today, it took me a second for my eyes to adjust. So I have about maybe 2 minutes, 160 seconds of experience on this thing. I'm going to tell you, I think so. let me let me spend tonight with it, and I can tell you for sure. I would be very hesitant to really believe anybody who puts out a video in the next 3 hours. I would say give him one night. Give it one night of people really trying to... Somebody like Spawnwave, that guy's going to deep dive into it. He will put his time... don't just go on first impressions. First impression, 120 seconds, awesome. You get what I'm saying? Awesome. And I'll tell you what, if my kids were around, this would have been a blast to build it with them. But as a 39-year-old bachelor right now, because my wife and kids are gone, and I mean, like, I'm still married and everything, but I'm just saying, like, I'm alone. That was cool. The Guardian was menacing again. When you play Breath of the Wild, you forget how tough they were in the beginning, and that thing looked huge. It was like, seriously, and you saw how I was playing, William. I was moving along with it, right? I was knee jerking. My body, my mind was tricked.
I was almost a little worried about you dropping it.
So, I mean, it's third person. We got to remember also, I forget who said it the other day on my channel, we got to remember that Breath of the Wild was not made for this. However, it is a companion piece now. So, the games that are actually on the Labo cart itself, these are the games that were specifically designed for VR. So whatever we get here is just like, I don't know, icing on the cake or the grab bags at a party. But I liked it. I'm going to say for $40, I would say get it for $40.
That's not bad for 40.
Yeah. For $80, I would honestly probably tell you to get the $80 one too. But because they've given us choices, don't get the $80 one. Get the $40 one. If there weren't choices, I would say go for it just because of the uniqueness of it. And if Nintendo is willing to put Zelda and Mario on here, like, who knows what else they'll be willing to put on. But it looks like we're at the 2-hour mark. Time flies. See, man, I'll tell you what. I told William before we got on, I was like, William, it's just me and you, bud. Come up with some conversations. And he was like, I literally have no idea what to talk about. And we managed.
Yeah, I had no idea.
We managed, buddy. We did it. Mm-hmm. You and me. The Bearded Dragons. All right. Well, do you got anything you want to throw out there? Any questions about VR before we cut it?
I think I'm good. I'm going to be going to bed after this.
All right. I might have, but now I'm not because I'm pumped about this. So guys, I'll give a review. Check out, I'll say I'll have something up by Saturday, but I'll try really hard to have something up tomorrow, but it'll probably be later in the day because of editing and stuff. Like I said, I want to give it I want to see if I can hurt my eyes with it and hurt my brain, believe it or not, because I feel that that's an important aspect of this. If I can hurt myself, I want to see how long it takes to hurt myself. And I'm not saying that in a way, oh, I'm so depressed, I want to hurt myself. I'm saying that in a way, I want you guys to know. It's just, hey, if I'm going to take up the job as a reviewer, then I'm going to review it. You know what I mean? Guys, it's dangerous to go alone. Please share this video, this podcast, this channel with a friend. Appreciate every single one of you. Headcrab, welcome to the channel. Beto Angel, thank you for letting us know about the update. Otherwise, we wouldn't have done that. I think that was a really cool thing to add to the podcast. Very appropriate. We are now on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 hours. Then, everything else happens on the channels. There's still Friday Night Smash. There's still news, and there's still things in the morning. This channel is a very active channel because you guys are a very active community. When you guys are active, I'm active, and we appreciate you. Me, William, David, Devin, we talk about the podcast throughout the week. It's not just like, we don't just throw it together. We do throw it together, but it's like it's in our brain at the same time. So guys, thank you. Thank you again. We are humbled that you gave us your time, because your time is more valuable than any dollar you can throw at us, because we understand that this world, it's fast-paced, and you gave it to us. Thank you so much. You guys, we cannot appreciate you enough. Have a great week.